imagine you go on and you search and you type in sin, hit enter, what could come up? All kinds of crazy things. You're going to get these pop-ups, your parents are going to walk in right at the wrong time, and then you're going to turn around and say, Miss Bourgeois and Miss Connolly told me to search shame and sin and all these things that you could get bad images on your screen for. So you want to be really thoughtful, because you also don't want to get in a situation that you try and get out of. So I have a few recommendations for finding a good search. And the first one is to use what's called Boolean search terms. Okay? Boolean. Okay? What that means is that you use the words and, or, and not in your search. Now this is true, you can use it in Google, but you also want to use it on the databases that I suggest. So for example, what you're really going to have to do is brainstorm some search terms. So you don't want to just search sin and call it a day. You're going to get a million things. And especially if you just Googled, you're going to get like 3 pages of just defining what sin is. So you do want to think, like, what are some possible sins? So you could think about like things like gluttony or greed. Can you think of examples of greed in our society now? Can you think of examples of people being angry? Can you think of pride? Okay, people being too prideful, perhaps. So these are some of the sins. You can think about where are sins defined. You could think about things like the 10 Commandments. So you want to think about how do you define sin, and instead of just typing in sin, you want to put sin and pick something. So you could do sin and premarital sex. Now again, you're going to have to be really mindful, if that's the direction you want to go in, of Google searching. Okay. If you do get in a situation that makes you uncomfortable, get yourself out of it, okay? You may also want to just search at school, because it will also help weed out some of the sites that may harm your computer, for example, okay? You're not just worried about something that may pop up on your screen, but maybe something comes with a virus. So you do have to be really mindful about your searching. If you wanted to do something like hypocrisy and politics, or even thinking about examples of things that happen in life, like sloth, for example. I picture a student who, they finish their work really easily, it takes them half the time as everyone else. How do they spend that time? Do they go on and are they making themselves a better person, or are they chit-chatting and distracting the other people around them? So you really want to be thinking about examples in real life so you can really narrow down your searching. Okay? The next thing you want to do is truncate your words. Okay? What that means is you're going to find the smallest piece of the word that you can. So like with hypocrisy, you would spell out all as much as you can, and then you put a star when you cut off just the ending. So for example, with hypocrite, I may go through the I and then put a star, and it's going to search hypocrisy, hypocrite, hypocritical. So it will search all of the larger portions of the word for me. This is something that works in our book system as well. If you wanted to type in hypocrisy or sin, star, sinful, sinfully, it'll search all of those types.